Today on the channel, we're taking another look at the Porn Star Martini. I've got some new and supposedly better ingredients to play with. Will the final recipe be better than what I teach on my cocktail masterclasses every week? Let's find out. Today, we're combining the brand new puree that I have with a brand new vanilla vodka to me and a brand new passion fruit liqueur. You could say we're giving the Porn Star Martini a massive overhaul because I'm about to change up 3 of the 5 ingredients. Now, before I introduce you to those brand new ingredients, if you like me, if you like what my channel's about and it provides you with value, then please do hit that subscribe button. Now, I mentioned the brand new passion fruit puree. Hopefully you've just watched the recent mini series that I did, the 3 videos with this where I finished up with the blind tasting. Now, as you might notice, the bar has had a little bit of a change round since then because that video was actually filmed getting on for nearly 3 months ago by the time this video comes out. So despite that final porn star winning my blind tasting and me loving the cocktail, we're now potentially getting even better. First up, we're looking at the vodka. I've got a brand new vanilla vodka here. Now this is Dutch Barn's Balinese Vanilla Vodka. Ricky Gervais is part owner of the brand, Ricky Gervais the comedian. Now I haven't got it for that. I've got it because I actually really love the base vodka, the black bottle of Dutch Barn there. The vodka is distilled from apples. That's its point of difference. Now, I know there's going to be many of you watching this video going, vodka is just vodka. And to a certain extent, I do actually agree. Because if you are spending less than £20 on a bottle of vodka, the chances are you're going to be tasting like negligible difference, if any differences at all. Especially when we're looking at the vanilla vodkas, because don't forget, as I say time and time again, even Absolute have now brought their vanilla vodka down to 38% ABV. And I would say they've added more sugar, but I'll broaden that out to say it does taste more sweet than what it used to do. So when you're actually comparing Absolute to Smirnoff to JJ Whitley, which I normally use, do you know what? Actually, there isn't that much difference. But when you start paying a little bit more, when you go up to 25, 30, maybe even 35 pounds a bottle for your vodka, that's when you do notice the difference because it is less mass produced. Take this, for example. This is actually distilled with vanilla pods. You know, not like a lot of these, which are vanilla extracts and flavor compounds. You know, a couple of drops will do a couple of 100 litres. This is actually distilled from vanilla pods. So you've got better ingredients going into more expensive vodkas. You've also got more care and attention in the distilling methods as well. Now, this is going to be really interesting because the Dutch Barn really isn't sweet. It doesn't pop of vanilla like some of the under £20 vodkas do. And you could argue that that's actually what you want from this cocktail. You want it to be sort of vanilla forward. But this is just really subtle vanilla, but a really luxurious creamy vodka of the base of it. And then the really interesting one for me is going to be this Chinola. I've been eyeing this up now for a couple of years. I finally got round to tasting it at a bar show in the summer of 2024 and instantly fell in love. This stuff, I said I'd try and find a new word in 2025, but this stuff is incredible. Now, the big difference between the Chinola and the passion fruit is that Chinola is just, at the base of it, Dominican Republic rum blended with Dominican Republic passion fruits. It's actually passion fruit. And you'll see the massive colour difference there between the Passoa and the Chinola. But the whole point here is this is very expensive. I'll be brutally honest, I can get 2 bottles of Passoa still cheaper than I would pay for 1 bottle of Chinola. Now, I'm really looking forward to the 3 tests that I've got coming up here. Will these 3 new ingredients to me significantly improve the Porn Star Martini, the recipe that I've been rocking out 2-3 times a week for the last God knows how many years? Will these create a better Porn Star Martini? Now, I'm not going to do this as a blind tasting because I'm imagining, even when I pit the Dutch Barn against the JJ Whitley, I'm imagining I'm going to taste a huge variance straight away. So I'm going to try and do this as unbiased as possible. With my business head on, I kind of want the cheaper one to win because obviously I've got a budget to work with and costs and everything like that. But to a certain extent, the price doesn't really matter with cocktails, because at the end of the day, you want the cocktail to taste as good as it possibly can be. So this is going to be really interesting. I'm not going to show you me making each cocktail. I'm just going to cut straight to the individual tests. So for the first of these 3 tests, I'm putting the vodka head to head. I've stuck to my original recipe, which in fact that is my Porn Star Martini, how I normally serve it up. And then we've made a second one where we've just swapped the Dutch Barn Balinese in. All these recipes will be in the description below, separated off by test 1, test 2, test 3. So this, I know what this is going to taste like. It's an all-star. It's really, really good. Lovely vanilla forward, not too sweet, very well super balanced. It's a fantastic Porn Star Martini. That is what won the blind tasting in that previous video. So now let's have a little bit of water. Now let's try the Balinese Vanilla Vodka. Now that is really interesting. It's not as sweet. And I thought, in my head, I thought I was going to prefer the JJ Whitley for this. But because that's not as sweet, you still get this lovely, don't forget there's vanilla syrup in here as well. You still get that lovely vanilla-iness coming through. But it's just, I don't know, it's just, the only way I can describe this is I just find that actually a touch more well-balanced. This is, you know, this is still good. This is still like a 9.5 out of 10. I would back most people here to taste the sweetness levels, the difference there. I don't think, I've not got a super palate. I would guess a lot of people will taste the difference between those two. I'm going to go with the Balinese Vanilla Vodka on that, just purely because it just makes it a rounder cocktail. Now for test 2, the swap this time is the passion fruit liqueur. Both of these are JJ Whitley Vodka. So the swap is just these 2. Now, I think even if I stand there like that on the close-up, I think you should pick up on the camera the difference in colour. You can see that the Chinola is much more yellowy, whereas the Passoa has got a sort of a pinkish hue to it. The other difference that you won't see here is that the Chinola, because it is thicker, you know, I can't convey that across on camera, but it's a thicker, because it's actually got passion fruits in there, it's made that kind of, A, there's less froth on there, but B, it's made it a thicker cocktail. Haven't tasted these yet, so this is going to be interesting. So again, this is pretty much that original OG recipe. So again, I don't know why I've made a second one up, but hey, I love Porn Star Martinis. You know, fantastic. I'm being hypercritical here, hypercritical. I'm going to hold this because what I'm expecting to get from this one is like super improved passion fruit flavors. Because at the end of the day, as much as we all love Passoa, especially here in the UK, that is just basically neutral spirit with passion fruit flavoring. You know, that's what it is. This is actually Dominican Republic rum blended with Dominican Republic passion fruits. So I'm really looking forward to this. I don't think I've ever had a Porn Star Martini with Chinola. So this is going to be very interesting. Oh my God. Wow. I did not expect that cocktail to be so different with just one simple swap. They're like, now look, again, wow. Look, I want to convey, this is still a fantastic recipe. It is. I'm not going to have a bad word said against Passoa. I've used God knows how many bottles. We're talking thousands and thousands and thousands of bottles of this I've used in my business, let alone the bars that I ran before I started my business in 2012. But this is next level. We've now got amped up passion fruit. Even though it's thicker, it feels cleaner, if that makes any sense. Like, not, it's an ever so slight cloyingness to that. Not cloyingly sweet at all, but it's just this little bit that sort of hits you, whereas this is fresh, zingy, vibrant. It's the flavour is, wow, I'm super impressed by that. That's really good. Okay, so the third and final test, we've now gone for a complete swap. And I didn't really think this through too well because obviously I've got 3 identical cocktails there, but at least they're freshly made, going head to head. You know, they're as cold as they can be. The froth's as good as it can be. They're freshly shaken, but we could have some Porn Star Martinis afterwards. Now, again, so just for clarification, my OG recipe, like JJ Whitley, Passoa, then the lime, the vanilla, and then the puree. This one is now Dutch Barn and Chinola in there as the swap. What do we reckon? This is going to make absolutely no sense in my head at all. I stopped myself from saying something a minute ago. I think the vanilla is more rounded with the Dutch Barn than it is with the JJ Whitley. And I emphasise that. That's authentic vanilla, but not as sweet and not as in your face. I expected that to really punch with vanilla, but actually it's the Dutch Barn one that really does give me that lovely vanilla-y bite to it. I mean, I'm sold on a Chinola straight away. The Chinola is 100%. That is an incredible, you know, improvement on Passoa. And I love Passoa. You know, this is really hard for me to say this. I absolutely love Passoa. The Chinola is just next level. But this, I genuinely think the 2 cocktails are incomparable. That is so completely and utterly different as a vanilla and passion fruit martini to what that is. Now that I've tasted that, I do appreciate the cloying, sweet, you know, little bit of, it's doing that. I'd never know what that word is, but it's making me kind of running my tongue around my gums. But I still love it. But this is totally next level, totally next level. Now, if you want to find out why I've swapped from Funkin' Puree to Boiron Puree, then watch that video right there.